Hello, my dear students. Welcome to our English class. Thought for the day. You can do anything in the world if you have belief that you can in your heart. In this video, you are going to learn finite and non-finite verbs. You have already learnt about verbs, a word that indicates an action done by the subject or expresses a state of being or shows possession is called a verb. Example, she went home. Kannan is a doctor. I have a sister. Next, look at this chart. A verb is classified into two types, finite and non-finite verbs. Non-finite verb is also classified into further types, infinitives, gerund, participle. Infinitives are further classified into simple infinitives, gerundial infinitives, bare infinitives. And participle is also further classified into present participle, past participle, perfect participle. Let us see one by one with examples. A finite verb depends person, number, subject, tense. But non-finite verbs do not depend person, number, subject, tense. Let us see the definition of finite verbs. A verb which is limited by the number or the person of its subject and also on the tense of the subject. The form of verb depends on its subject. Example, they play football. Plural subject, plural verb. He plays football. He, singular subject, plays, singular verb. You are playing football. Present continuous tense. She was playing football. Was playing, past continuous tense. So, a verb which is limited by its number or person or subject and its tense is called a finite verb. Next, non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs do not change their form even when the person or the number of the subject changes, nor on the tense of the sentence. They want to eat something delicious. She wants to eat something delicious. He wants to play football. They want to play football. They want to eat eggs for breakfast. In these examples, the subject and the verb changes according to its number and tense. But the highlighted words do not change. Hence, it is called non-finite verbs. So, it is not limited by the subject, person, and tense. Next, the non-finite verbs are classified into three main types: infinitive, gerund, participle. First, let us see about infinitives. An infinitive is 2 plus the base form of a verb. It means 2 plus V1 form. Infinitives function in a variety of ways. Infinitives can act like nouns in a sentence. Subject, object, subject complements. These are the characteristics of infinitives. For example, to walk, to eat, to go, etc. Simple infinitives. It is also types of an infinitive. When infinitive is used as noun, it is called simple infinitive. Use of simple infinitives as subject. To read is a good habit. To find fault is easy. So here, to read, to find are used as subject of the sentences. Hence, they are simple infinitives. Second, as object to verb. I like to play. He likes to read. Here, to play, to read are used as object of the verbs. Third, as complement to verb. His greatest pleasure is to swim. His intention is to sing. Here, to swim, to sing are used as complement to verb. Hence, these are called simple infinitives. So, infinitives, when they are used as noun, are called simple infinitives. Next, we will see the use of infinitive with to and enough. He is too weak to move. This is called to plus infinitive form. She is old enough to get married. So always we use infinitive form 2 plus V1 with these words TOO, too enough. Next, use of infinitive with dummy, it's. It is our duty to respect our elders. To respect our elders is our duty. We can write in this manner. It is difficult to live without pure water. It can be written as to live without pure water is difficult. It is illegal to detain a woman in night. To detain a woman in night is illegal. Next, use of infinitive with WH words. I don't know what to say. Tell me where to go. I wonder who to call. Do you know how to swim? Here, the infinitives are used along with the WH question words. Next, gerundial infinitive. It is nothing when infinitives are used adjective or adverb. Examples, we eat to live. Here, infinitive to modify a verb. This wine is pleasant to drink. To modify as adjective. These are called gerundial infinitive. Next, bare infinitives. This is very, very important, my dear students. We can also use infinitives without to, is called bare infinitive. To is not used after auxiliary verbs. Shall, will, must, dare, could, might, need, can, may, should, and we should not use two plus V1 along with these models. There are exceptional, art and used. Examples, I should write, he should write, I can do it, I ought to go, I used to play cricket in the morning. So when to is avoid before some main verbs. Let us see. In active voice, to is not used with hear, see, make, feel, watch, know. So before these main verbs, we avoid to. For example, I heard her sing, not I heard her to sing. I watch her go. She made me fool. To is not used after let. When we use the word let, we should not use to. Examples: I let her sleep. Let them play. Let him come. To is not used in negative and interrogative with need and dare. I need not go. Dare you act like her. So here, to is not used before the main verbs. Hence, these are called bare infinitives. Next, we will see gerund. Gerund is the ing form of verb which is used as a noun. It is also called as verbal nouns. Gerund is nothing, a verb which acts partly a verb and partly a noun is called gerund. So the work of a gerund is noun. Examples: running is a good way to keep fit. The boys were tired of running. He seemed to be interested in fighting. I like reading books. Gerund means nothing when we add ing form to the main verb. For example, run plus ing, running, etc. So it can be used as subject of the sentence or an object of the sentence. As both gerund and infinitive have the force of a noun and a verb, they have same uses. Thus, either of them may be used in a sentence with not much difference in meaning. So both gerund and infinitives are used as subject or object in the sentence, but they have little bit difference. Teach me to swim. Teach me swimming. Look at the difference. To swim, swimming. But both have same meaning. Next, participle. A participle is that form of the verb which has characteristics of an adjective and a verb. Participle is nothing, a word which is used to act as an adjective and a verb is called participle. Participle are of three types: present, past, perfect. Present participle. Present participle, first form of verb plus ing, that means V1 plus ing form as we used in gerund. But here is a difference between gerund and present participle. Present participle ends with ing and represents an action as going on or incomplete. So the difference between gerund and present participle is gerunds are used as nouns, whereas present participles are used as adjectives. This is the main difference between gerund and present participle. For example, we met a girl carrying a basket of flowers. It was a tiring journey. The blind man, thinking all was safe, tried to cross the road. So here carrying, tiring, thinking are called present participles because they are used as an adjective, not a noun. Next, past participle. Past participle is nothing, the third form of verb, V3 form. Past participle use third form of verb and is usually ends in ed, d, t, en or n. It indicates about the completion of task in past. For example, she looks tired. The candidate selected for this post is my brother. Driven by hunger, she told an apple. The house was burnt. He gave a written complaint. The words tired, selected, driven, burnt, written are called past participle, the third form of the verb. And it indicates the completion of the task in the past. Next, perfect participle. Those participle which indicates the ending of a task and after that the starting of a new task are perfect participle. Perfect participle having plus past participle, having been plus past participle. These are the formation of perfect participle, having plus v3 or having been plus v3. For example, having done, having seen, having finished. Examples: having finished my work, I went to the market. So here the one is completion of a task and that starting of a new task. Having passed the examination, he prepared for interview. Having completed his project, he went for the picnic. So the words having finished, having passed, having completed are called perfect participle. Look at these examples and try to find out the answer on your own for your better understanding. Choose the correct verb forms given in the options. Okay students, I hope you would have understood this very clearly. So let us have a small recap. Finite verb, a verb that is limited by the number, the person of its subject, the tense. Whereas non-finite verbs do not limited by the number, the person, subject and the tense. And non-finite verbs are classified into three main types: infinitives, gerund, participle. Infinitives are further classified into simple infinitives, gerundial infinitives, bare infinitives. And participle is also further classified into present participle, past participle, perfect participle. Gerund acts as a noun. Infinitive 2 plus v1 form. Participle v1 plus ing present participle but acts as an adjective. Past participle the third form of the verb, and perfect participle having plus v3 or having been plus v3. Okay students, keep practicing finite and non-finite verbs on your own exercises, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you.